Coming up next on Making Moves.
These brand new CNG buses hit the streets in just a few weeks. But as I found out, there's a whole lot more involved than merely turning the key. I'm Terry Casey. That story coming up.
We take a look at the authorities' new marketing campaign aimed at saving your life. And are you willing to pay a toll to drive in less traffic? FDOT thinks you are. We'll tell you where they plan to put in tolls. I'm Donna Deegan. These stories and more right now on Making Moves. Hello and welcome to another edition of Making Moves. I'm Donna Deegan. We begin with compressed natural gas, or CNG. JTA's first CNG bus arrived recently to much fanfare. Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry and Congresswoman Corrine Brown joined JTA Chairman Scott McCaleb as the JTA unveiled the new bus outside of City Hall. This was the first of 23 new CNG buses headed to Jacksonville from Gillig Bus Plant in Hayward, California. CNG is a low-cost, clean, and domestically produced energy source. JTA anticipates saving $9.2 million over a 15-year period by converting a minimum of 100 buses from diesel to CNG. The CNG buses will be running primarily on the new First Coast Flyer route starting December 7th. Construction of the JTA CNG fueling station with public access will officially open in January. As more of those CNG buses start rolling in, there is much going on behind the scenes to get ready. So as you might imagine, for the mechanics that have spent years working exclusively on diesel engines, it might be a little daunting to now have to learn a completely new technology. As Making Moves senior correspondent Terry Casey found out, early fears quickly gave way to excitement for the challenge.
Highly skilled, specially trained technicians work in cavernous garage bays on JTA's back lot, repairing road-weary diesel engine buses to get them back in service. The diesel generation will eventually give way to what Quality Assurance Inspector Robert Dutrumbull calls the new generation.
JTA is currently transitioning from diesel to CNG, compressed natural gas.
Over the next 5 years, JTA is planning to roll out at least 100 of these CNG buses. Now, as you can see, they look pretty sharp. But wait till you hear just how much money they're going to save.
Right now, we have 11 of the BRT buses, First Coast Flyers, and we are receiving the additional 12 standard route buses, which are going to be CNG as well. Now, a positive towards the conversion to CNG will be, we're going to reduce the burden on our fuel bill, our annual fuel bill, which should save the taxpayers roughly $5,000 to $8,000 per bus. So for us, that's substantial.
That's just one difference between diesel and CNG.
With the CNG buses, a definite impact on the environment are reduced emissions. I mean, we've all seen the diesel buses running around the city blowing out black smoke. We've seen it. Those are bad emissions, and we are trying to be environmentally conscious, and which is part of the transition plan into the CNG.
Goodies include onboard Wi-Fi and more.
With new buses comes less downtime, so hopefully the riding public notices that the buses are getting there and they're not breaking down on the highways like we've seen. And also with the CNG buses, a big difference between CNG and diesel is the sound. They're not as loud as a diesel engine.
The crew's first reaction to CNG was mixed. After all, they were accustomed and trained for diesel engine buses. CNG was different.
Your first thought is, okay, what's different? Well, what's going to be the impact?
And from lead engine technician Rick Ballard,
what do you actually got to do in order to do it? Am I going to be safe, whenever I work on it?
their uncertainties melted away with training.
Yeah, as a result, you turn a couple of valves and then you don't have no pressure on the system, so then it's actually really safe to work on.
What about safe to ride in?
Yeah, it's safe to ride in, but it's not nothing really to be scared. It's very stable.
In my case, it's my job to read those manuals that are put out by the manufacturer and see exactly what the big changes are going to be. And then I get with the training department and management to ensure the technicians get the right training to operate these buses.
We're going to do a partial depressurization. So remember, safety first.
Terry Posey is lead trainer and says training is always changing.
So as training changes, we go into what I classify as blended learning. Blended learning is a combination of computer-based training, videos and DVDs, and then instructor-led training. So as with the CNG, there are videos that we use and DVDs that will bring employees into the maintenance training room, and we'll play the DVD.
Yeah, go ahead and open it up. Slow. Slow.
With CNG as fuel, training has to be different. Here's why.
With the CNG engine, it's a gas, it's a vapor, so you won't be able to spot a leak as readily as with the diesel bus. CNG is colorless, right? And it doesn't have an odor. So they add a chemical, I think it's mercaptan, to give the gas a smell of rotten eggs. So those are just a few of the basic things that you really have to pay attention to.
So, with the first new CNG buses set to roll, what do the guys really think?
You know, CNG is the way of the future.
It's very exciting.
We are jumping on that bandwagon. I think it's a good bandwagon from my perspective as a taxpayer. You know, I'm always happy to see us save some money somewhere.
In downtown, Terry Casey, JTA Making Moves.
Learning how to fix a whole new type of bus engine isn't the only major change going on at the JTA's Myrtle Avenue Operations Campus. The influx of CNG buses also means significant changes to the actual bus facility as well. Making Moves Chief Correspondent Bill Milnes gives us a closer look at that part of the story.
Keeping more than 150 JTA buses on the road every day is an around-the-clock operation. Now, with the addition of compressed natural gas buses in its fleet, the authority's facilities must also undergo some significant upgrades. The biggest challenge was in JTA's main repair facility, a 65,000 square foot space.
It has been greatly renovated for gas detection and for the safety features required to maintain buses with CNG.
All while keeping maintenance operations on the vehicles going 24/7. And since CNG is a colorless, odorless gas, providing more airflow in the workspaces has been critical.
There are 13 exhaust fans that had to be added to move air, so we have constantly moving air in the building. Each one, 16 of our garage doors have had louvers put in them so as to increase airflow.
Each building housing CNG has its own gas detection system, including both visual and audio alarms, new signage, and more. There is also a new space heating system and new synthetic oil drums for the CNG buses. There's also 2 separate fueling stations being added to the JTA's Myrtle Avenue Operations Campus, one for the public and the other to fuel the buses.
The commercial fuel facility is on the Myrtle Street side with its own entrance. Our buses are being fueled exactly where they're being fueled now, but just at different dispensers. We're adding 3 CNG dispensers at our current service center.
When it's complete, these renovations here will total over $1 million. In La Villa, Bill Milnes, JTA Making Moves.
Still to come on Making Moves, we'll tell you how a new JTA marketing campaign is hoping to save lives. And the awards just keep piling up for Jacksonville's transit agency. Find out who is honoring the JTA now.
Don't be a distracted driving casualty. Keep your cell phone in your pocket.
Commuting to and from work was costing me a lot of money. Now, with transit tax benefits, I can use pre-tax dollars to have a cheaper, more reliable way to work.
Transit commuter tax benefits save me real money. The cost of my commute is deducted before taxes are computed on my income. This tax savings allows me to collect about 3 months of transportation costs over a 12-month period.
Just ask your employer. It's that easy.
Your transit commuter tax benefit is waiting.
Going to work just became much nicer.
Jacksonville Transportation Authority is currently seeking highly skilled and highly motivated individuals to serve as the face of our growing organization as a part-time bus operator. As a bus operator with JTA, you will experience the satisfaction of serving your community while earning an income. This career path provides outstanding opportunities for full-time advancement with JTA. Full-time operators are eligible to participate in the company's pension plan and a competitive benefit package that includes vacation time, medical, and dental insurance. If you are at least 23 years old, have a high school diploma or equivalency, a commercial driver's license, and a clean driving record, we want to hear from you. All qualified candidates will receive additional paid training to start you on your path for future success with JTA. Visit us online at jtafla.com. Click on Careers to learn more about this and all other open positions.
Welcome back to Making Moves. A few months back, we told you about JTA winning a National Gold Safety Award from the American Public Transportation Association. Well, not to be outdone, the Florida Public Transit Association bestowed a similar honor on the authority at its annual conference held recently in Daytona Beach. The award recognizes the JTA's commitment to providing a safe and secure transportation experience for all of its customers. Joining me now to talk more about JTA's commitment to safety and a new initiative the agency is launching to promote a safer driving experience for all motorists is Cami Haynes. She is the JTA's Assistant Vice President of Safety and Compliance. Cami, welcome to the program. We're so excited to have you here, and at a time when JTA is just getting so many accolades, both state and national, you've got to feel awful proud.
We are extremely excited. We are thankful to the JTA family for all the hard work that they have done to make those awards possible, and we look forward to doing more.
So what more needs to be done? Why the focus on safety now that you're getting all these wonderful accolades for being so safe? What more needs to be done?
Well, Donna, we have seen some trends, a few different types of safety trends going in the wrong directions. For instance, our rear end collision, our side swipes, they're higher than we would like them to be. So there is an increased focus from our leadership team to make sure that we open up the public awareness about these issues and why they occur.
Well, it's funny, you'd think it'd be hard to miss a 40-foot bus.
Yes.
Yet those rear end collisions are happening more and more often. And a lot of it has to do, I guess, with the fact that people are just distracted out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Distracted driving is probably the #1 cause of most of our accidents, especially our rear end collisions. It's early morning hours. People are simply not paying attention. They're texting or on the phone. And that really creates a problem for us, not just for us, but our customers as well, and the driving public. We want everyone to be safe. We know that safety is everyone's priority. And so our new campaign, Pocket Pledge, Keep It in Your Pocket, is our #1 focus now. And that is a pledge that you could take. And that pledge basically says that you're not going to be driving distracted. You're going to stay off your cell phones, stay off your texting, stay off your mobile devices, and make sure you are consciously driving on our roads to keep our roads safer and, of course, to prevent these collisions.
Well, I think most people don't realize when they're out there texting, and, everybody says, but I'm a good driver. I'm a good driver. I can do this. But every time you even glance down at your phone, your car goes basically a football field up the road. And so for you all, obviously you got a big bus. If people hit you in the rear, it's not like it's your fault, but it sort of, you were saying it sort of dings the reputation a little bit.
Absolutely. Our #1 focus is making sure everyone in Duval County is safe. And when our buses start, we want our passengers to be safe. We want the drivers to be safe. So it's a collaborative effort. We need everyone's help in making sure that we are not involved in accidents or we're not involved in things that could cause lives needlessly. So we want to make sure that everyone is paying attention as they drive. They're not distracted. Keep it in your pocket. That is our slogan for this campaign. So we want people to really take that to heart and keep those mobile devices in your pocket as you're driving. It's just going to make the roads safer for each of us, and of course, our customers on our buses as well.
So, Cami, how do people take that pledge if they want to?
You can basically go to pocketpledge.com to take the pledge, and the pledge basically says that you are not going to drive distracted. So there will be no texting and driving, no phone use while you're driving, no other mobile devices while you're driving. We want to have that awareness at the public level so people stay engaged and are just really conscious of what's going on out there, because a big bus is hard to miss, but it happens all the time.
Yeah, just tell people when you get in your car, look, I'm going to be in my car for the next 30, 45 minutes. Don't call me because I'm not going to pick up the phone. I'm going to turn it off. Phone's going to be in my pocket. That's it.
And there are better things you can do as well. There's also apps on Droid or iPhones that will allow you to automatically set a timer, and your phone will tell someone when you're driving. So there's a lot of good, cool technology that can assist you in taking the pledge. But the first step is take the pledge.
But what most people don't realize is that when you are looking down at your phone, even for a moment, that's a football field that goes by.
Absolutely.
And if you've got a big old bus in front of you, you're not going to do very well in that collision, are you?
Correct. It is distracted driving that is our primary focus. And again, like you said, it only takes a second for something very disastrous to happen. So we believe that in addition to our safety campaign, public awareness is key. We want everyone to be aware that our buses stop frequently, that they are in these high corridors of Duval County. So make sure we're careful out there and make sure that, when you can, you're not distracted while you're driving. And again, pocketpledge.com. Jump on, take the pledge, keep our streets safe.
Okay, pocketpledge.com will do it. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us. This is obviously something that's very important to the JTA and obviously important to all of us, and that's the safety of our drivers. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
In a show of overwhelming bipartisan support, the House of Representatives voted 363 to 64 to pass a 6-year, nearly $340 billion surface transportation bill. The House action is an important step toward achieving enactment of the first long-term authorization for public transit and highways in over a decade. The House also approved amendments to increase bus funding and to improve funding availability for fixed guideway capital investments. The president of the American Public Transportation Association, Michael Malafany, applauded the House action, but said he was still concerned that only 3 years of the proposed 6-year bill is funded. Malafany says members of both the House and Senate need to find adequate funding to meet past commitments, $86 billion worth, as well as current and future capital needs. The House and Senate must now reconcile the differences between their respective versions of that bill. The first of more than a dozen new JTA construction projects broke ground recently, one in Mandarin and another on the north side. Long-awaited improvements to the Old St. Augustine Road and Greenland Road intersection are getting addressed with a new turn lane. The new turn lane will take northbound traffic on Old St. Augustine to eastbound Greenland and will alleviate congestion and decrease wait times.
The church, led by Monsignor Cody and his staff, donated this property so we can have a smooth transition from Old St. Augustine Road to Greenland Road.
7 years ago, on a Monday morning, I distinctly remember, 7 o'clock, I looked out here coming to say Mass, and there was 10 buses parked out here. And I said, something has to be done.
Meanwhile, on the north side, Soutel Drive is the site for a new JTA bus hub and will provide a connection point for 3 bus routes. Passenger amenities such as shelters, benches, and a ticket vending machine will also be installed.
This is the second of 13 roadway construction projects that were set forth by the City Council and funded by the extension of the local option gas tax.
This particular hub is going to add value to the community. We have a lot of folks that live in this area that use the transportation system. We have a lot of amenities that you see within the community. Right behind you is the Legend Center that's well used in our community, Lonnie Miller Park. Right behind you is Booby Clark Park. So we have a lot of activities that's in the community. I think it's going to help drive more folks that do not have transportation to these areas.
Construction on both projects is now underway. It's been more than 25 years since Jacksonville motorists had to pay a toll to cross a bridge or ride on a highway. But a new modern era of tolls is nearly upon us. The Florida Department of Transportation is just months away from opening the first part of the new First Coast Expressway that will eventually connect I-95 in northern St. Johns County to I-10 in western Duval County. Meanwhile, plans are underway to add additional pay lanes to I-295. Making Moves correspondent Eugene Lindsay has more on these new pay-to-ride projects.
Hundreds of St. Johns County residents came streaming through this exhibition hall at the Royal Golf Village. The main attraction? Rows of charts and tables with maps of proposed plans for an I-95 express lane road project that will likely come with user fees or tolls that runs through the heart of St. Johns County.
It's a basic discussion tonight. Draw inputs, look at the plans, talk to the engineers, and provide their comments.
These are the merge.
This is going to be terrible. Can you imagine getting off here to get on 295? You don't want to get off down there.
You'll have to.
This I-95 express lane project is still in the very early stage of the planning process, and FDOT officials are encouraging residents to speak up about their concerns because their input could help drive the final outcome.
We'll have a formal period of time where they can offer formal comments, and we also have the comment cards where they can fill out the cards, and our engineers will take this information and then review this information and try and incorporate this into the plans and as we move forward with the discussion process.
And while plans for one toll road is just getting started, another is nearing its final stages of construction. The First Coast Expressway is about a 14-mile stretch of highway connecting I-10 with Blanding Boulevard to the south, while at the north end, connecting with Beaver.
People can jump on there from Beaver to go over to I-10, get off at I-10 there, or they can continue on the First Coast Expressway, and that would be a toll facility, or they can use the side service road types.
Tittle says managing the flow of traffic on the roadway as well as the traffic flowing into area businesses will play an important role in the success of the First Coast Expressway.
With the different warehouses and all in there that need to move trucks. So we're trying to spread out the traffic, congestion more, and accommodate more of the logistics, because now with Jacksport and all of these different logistics hubs and things continuing to build, we've got to be able to create some capacity for them.
The first leg of this new First Coast Expressway is scheduled to open to commuters by the end of 2016. In Jacksonville, Eugene Lindsay, JTA, Making Moves.
My late friend James Gandolfini and I got to know a lot of combat vets over the years when we were in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And it guts me to know that 22 of you are taking your own lives every day. Yeah, I play tough guys in the movies, but yous are the real tough guys. And the toughest thing to do sometimes is look for help. I want you to know, reaching out is an act of strength. And our friends at Wounded Warrior Project are here to help. You don't have to go it alone.
Happy employees mean a happy workplace. My employees take advantage of transit tax benefits. Employees use pre-tax dollars to pay for their commute, reducing taxable income. And the more pre-tax reductions that are made, the more employers decrease their payroll taxes. There's no enrollment period for transit tax benefits, and your business or employees can join or leave anytime. Plus, one of JTA's transit benefit partners does all the work. Your transit commuter tax benefit is waiting.
Don't be a distracted driving casualty. Keep your cell phone in your pocket.
Even though we've teamed up with the Jaguars, we're not just going to be cheerleaders.
I don't see any way where the Jaguars don't go undefeated.
You can still expect the same hard-hitting, unbiased opinions. We're not expecting any special favors from the Jaguars.
For the hometown team, I don't just see one Super Bowl, not one, not two, not three, not four.
So to keep our listeners' trust, we have to walk that fine line. And you can count on us.
Imagine taking a gondola ride through the canals in Venice, experiencing the breathtaking magnificence of the Eiffel Tower, or riding a legendary double-decker bus through the streets of London. For most of us, these are just dreams that will never come true, but they could. Think about saving hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year by doing one simple thing: parking your car and taking JTA instead. Save money, ride JTA, and make your dreams a reality.
Finally, the awards just keep rolling in for the JTA. The latest, Metro Magazine and BusCon's inaugural Innovative Solutions Awards. JTA is one of only 4 transit agencies in the country selected for that prestigious award. The agencies were honored for implementing new initiatives that help them save money, run more efficiently, streamline operations, improve customer satisfaction and safety, or increase ridership. With its route optimization initiative, JTA was able to add extended weekend service, improve frequencies on busy corridors, and increase service hours, all without increasing annual operating costs. Transit agencies from around the country have visited JTA to hear firsthand how it was accomplished and benchmark best practices. The most recent visitors came all the way from Long Beach Transit in California. And that will do it for this edition of Making Moves. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us. We'd like to thank Cami Haynes for joining us in the studio. And don't forget, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/JTA Making Moves. For all of us here at Making Moves, I'm Donna Deegan. Take care, everyone.